about. Good morning, it's Michelle Campbell with Diverse Talent. Welcome to another webinar. This webinar, we're going to be talking about women in construction. So with that, we have a great esteemed panels that will be sharing not only insight to their careers, but they'll give you tips on perspectives or advice they wish they had when they were coming through this industry. So with that, we'll go around and have our panelists introduce themselves. Latasha, please.
Latasha McCall, owner and founder of LM2 Construction. We're a general contractor here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Excellent. Jessica? And you're on mute just a little bit there. Yeah, there we go.
Jessica Acosta, founder and CEO of ECS, Environmental Consulting Services, and Edifice 2120.
Gracie?
Hi, I'm Gracie Wall. I'm a pre-construction engineer at Holder Construction. It's a general contractor.
Great. Excellent. And Sarah?
I'm Sarah Deering. I'm the Vice President at Absolute Caulking and Waterproofing. We're a Division 7 specialty subcontractor in Denver.
Excellent. So Sarah, we're going to start with you. Could you just share with us just a little bit about your career, your background? How did you get into caulking, right, and waterproofing? How did you get into that?
Well, I grew up coloring blueprints for my dad. My dad started the company in 1996. When I graduated high school, he said, "Are you interested in being involved?" Actually, he said, "You're good at math and science. Do you want to be involved in my construction company?" And I was like, those all sound like boy things. And I love being a girl. And so I'm not interested. And I blew it off, pursued social sciences, have a master's degree in clinical psychology, had a private practice doing that for a small time. But always found myself, it's a long story, and I'll skip you all of it, or the in between there, but found my way back to small business and just the impact there, and started in the field with the company and installing caulking and waterproofing, and realized that I could in fact be a girl in construction, and I could maintain that feminine identity, and that there was a place for me here. And so then I just fell in love, and that's the sweet end of the story. That's why I'm here.
I love that. You know, that whole preemptive, can I be a girl in this industry? And you know, I'm gonna turn it to Latasha to talk about, as a woman, right, of these past 30 years, how have you maintained your leadership in this industry as a strong CEO? But also, what inspired you to really start your own company?
Basically, I think you just have to, you know, I'm true to myself. You know, you have to be tough, and you have to have faith in you and believe in yourself. So as a woman, you talk about being in a dominated man industry, but if you don't have faith in yourself and you don't know who you are, I mean, it's tough for men to respect that. Been doing it for almost 30 years. And it's a, like I said, it's a very, very tough industry. I'm a GC, so I deal with multiple trades. Sometimes we have up to 50 trades at one time, depending on, you know, what we're doing. But I don't know, I stay strong. I hang in there with the boys. I don't allow myself to be disrespected, you know. And most importantly, I think I'm true to my word. And I think people respect that. I built my company on 3 things. And that's integrity, my character, and my word. And just doing that and just staying strong. And I think also what has helped my company grow is that we are real. We're not just a construction company, but we do a lot in the community. So we're community leaders as well. Anybody that comes and works for me has to give back 25 hours a year to giving back in the community. So like I said, it's a tough industry, but you have to just stay true to who you are. And I think it works out. Just keep faith. So I'm a woman of God, faith, and lots of prayers,
Yeah.
lots of praying.
Yeah. That is so staying true to yourself. And the other night I was messaging Jessica back and forth, and Jessica said, sorry, I was putting my kids down. And it was that, speaking of womanhood, motherhood, right? Where we have kids and careers and we're juggling all that. And still, Jessica, you continue to soar in your own industry. Can you give us some insight on that and what's going on a little bit in your own career, your own company, and how you manage that motherhood and being true to yourself?
Well, it's a balancing act. Currently, as I mentioned, I am the CEO for ECS. I'll give a little bit of my background. I started in the industry a little bit over 20 years ago. And also I began in the industry unexpectedly. I also got a degree in something else. I have a degree in communications. And but I needed to pay the bill, so I ended up getting a clerical job in the industry. And I worked my way up. And so I went from clerical answering phones to field engineer to project manager for general contractor. And then 13 years ago, after getting laid off, is that I decided to start my company. And so it's been a long journey. Then a couple years back, I started Edifice 2120, which is a co-working space for women in construction, because I not only like to believe in myself, but I like to believe in others that are in the industry, and I like to champion that. And so thinking back of, in my 20 years of journey, the things that I wish I would have had when the women in construction were not, I mean, they're still not common, right? But even back 20 years ago, it was even less women in the industry, less women in the field and stuff like that. So, and balancing life. I also have a little girl, so I want to set that example for her of it
Yes.
doesn't matter if an industry is male dominated or not. We're not limited by what the statistics are, or by where we don't have limiting beliefs.
Yeah, I love that. Gracie, I have to tell you, I am saving you to the last for this question, because your story is so amazing that
Yeah.
really your men got you into this, right? Your father and your brothers. But then you kind of took a legal turn. And so I also want to get the JD background. Share with everyone your perspective and how you got into this industry.
Yeah, so like everyone else, didn't come. I have a different degree completely, two of them. But my dad was always in construction, and I would spend my summers with him on his project. So I was familiar with it. I knew what it was, I knew what it entailed. Got a bachelor's degree in English and then went to law school. Finished up there, emphasized construction law, and graduated at probably the worst time ever, right after the pandemic. And it was just extremely hard to get a job. And so I ended up going to work for Holder, which is where I am right now, the same company my dad was working for. And they put me in engineering because they just didn't really know what to do with me. And I've been there ever since. I work in pre-construction, so I do all the contracting, negotiating, bidding, procurement of these mega projects that we have, and I love it. It's just so different. I'm not really using what exactly I went to school for, but every day is something different. I learn something new every day, which is wonderful. I love it.
Yeah. So you can see there's so many different perspectives in this panel. I want to dive into one question that I would love for everyone just to think about. And if you could, as you answer the question, give insight and wisdom for those that are thinking about this career, but also maybe advice of what you wish someone would have gave you. And I'm going to start with Miss Latasha. Latasha, can you start with that? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that mentors are real important. I
Mhm.
think they're really good. And I think that just coming in the industry, I think preparing me. I've been in construction a long time, so kind of dealing with men, but honestly, I didn't think it would be as tough as it has been.
Mhm.
And I think it not only just being a woman, but being a Black woman too. And I think that a woman wanting to start her own company, I mean, the main thing is having um just making sure how strong she is, believing in yourself, because so many people are going to tell you not to do it. But I think it's having a great business plan, having, you know, a great lawyer, a CPA, and then also just having a support system, whether that's family, friends, or whatever. I think that's real. I think that's real critical. It's just having that support system, those women, those people in your lives that you can bounce things off of, because you know, you are gonna weather some storms, especially being a CEO and president of your own company, but just being able to bounce things as far as employees, as far as cash flow, workforce. You know, workforce is a big problem here in Kansas City, and it may be everywhere. Deciding whether you want your company to be union, non-union, the benefits of both. I think just having that great support system and that mentor is when you get ready to take that leap. I think that's real important. And just you know, just surround yourself of people that are going to be uplifting.
Yeah. You know, I think it's a great, Jessica, I'd love for you to add to that. And then Sarah, but you talked about surrounding yourselves, and Jessica, that was something it sounds like that you had a vision for, bringing people together to surround themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that was along the same lines. That was my intent when building Edifice 2120, to have a community of other women that are, you know, in the same industry, that we share experiences, that we share challenges as well. Navigating a male-dominated industry like construction requires grit and resilience. And so to women stepping in this field or thinking about it, my advice is to embrace their unique strengths and really assert your space with confidence. I think that's what earned me respect in the industry, but also continuously seeking knowledge, being bold, being your self. As Sarah was mentioning, you know, one of the things that similarly like her, very, you know, growing up, I was very girly, and like thinking about going into construction was also not something not popular for me, and not a decision that I was looking forward to when I was growing up or anything like that. I did not have anybody in the industry, so there was nothing that I knew about the industry or the roles that I could do. But really, so when I heard construction, I was like, construction, like what am I gonna do in that industry? But really staying true to yourself, I've been able to remain who I was in my personality while still being able to perform, achieve, and deliver. And so I think that you don't have to assimilate. On the other hand, you can bring your bold decisions and your bold ideas into the industry, along with, you know, building relationships. Is like build your network, because they'll be your mentors, your allies, and your supporters. And certainly I agree with Latasha, that's very instrumental for being in the industry.
Excellent. Sarah, do you want to add to that or take away from it or whatever you want to do with it?
Yeah, I would say don't be afraid to take up space. Latasha and Jessica both spoke to that, but and I think that really means physically, verbally, mentally, emotionally,
Yes.
like let yourself continue to be who you are. There's space for everyone in construction, right? Kayleen McCabe likes to say, are you breathing? Come join us, right? Like
Right.
there is room for everyone here, and there is room for everyone to bring their talents and gifts, and for that to be capitalized on, optimized, right? So
Mm.
bring your identity with you, take up space, and look for the people who are holding out their hand. So whether that's women, whether that's men, but there are people that are there to help, there to mentor, there to grow with you, there to celebrate your successes with you. And grab hold of that, because that'll take you really far. And then turn around and do it for someone else.
Yes, yes. Gracie?
I think personally, for me, having no background or anything in this, it was extremely important for me to form relationships with people around me. And most of them were men. But also when doing that, you have to ensure that, hey, like, I may not know this much, but I am capable, I am smart, and I will get the job done. And that for me personally was so, like, that was just huge, just because there's not a lot of girls, especially in my department. So just being very assertive and getting the job done and getting it done right was probably my biggest thing for sure.
Yeah. We have about 5 minutes, and I want to do a couple things. I want to ask you, really, what's your vision? What's your vision? We're in this industry, right? And as much as sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to move away from engineering, I love and value strong women in this industry. It really is so important. And I would say in this science, technology, engineering, construction space. But what's your own personal vision? And what's your ask? What are you looking for? What do you need? And so now's your time to share and ask. But Gracie, I'm gonna start with you, your vision and your ask.
I think I will probably never leave construction. I love it. Um, I do, I will probably leave pre-construction eventually. I do want to do something in like risk management. So, and then that's a little bit more applicable to my degree. And then for my ask is I just want to be happy and successful. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Jessica.
Yeah, looking ahead, I see myself continuing to lead and expand my businesses in construction. More recently, I I mentioned the edifice because I like making a meaningful impact and continuing to mentor the next generation of professionals. And my vision is to, get to the point where we don't have to refer to the industry as a male-dominated industry. And I don't know if my eyes will get to see that, but that is my vision, that one day it will happen. That it will just be an industry of opportunities, right? That's my vision. As I mentioned that, looking into the future, I more recently started yet another company. It's a software development company where we are creating a platform for general contractors for environmental compliance. So my ask is that if you have a need, if you know somebody, if you have advice or any sort of contribution as I get ready to launch my second MVP of this platform. Typically our clients are general contractors or regulatory agencies that would use the platform for environmental compliance within the industry. That would be my ask.
Excellent. Thank you. Sarah.
Yeah, so in the next few years here, I will be taking ownership of the company, and my vision with that is to not only just maintain and continue my dad's legacy, because he's really built a great culture, but to create space for women, to create space for marginalized groups, to do that in a way that I can really stand behind and am proud of, and can hopefully influence the rest of our industry to fall in line, and something that I can share with others. Um, my ask, I mean, my goal from really when I decided not to go into construction and decided to go into social sciences was I want to build a better world. And it turns out uh, you can do that in a lot of different ways. And so here I am building a better world around me within our space. And I ask that everybody else does the same.
Yeah, thank you. Latasha, really
Hi.
saving you for next class, but really the wisdom
Yeah.
and for giving it perspective for us.
Right. I think I've been in the industry almost 30 years. So construction is construction. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I think for me, it's when you look at my company, it's about making a difference. It's about building a community. It's about housing. It's about what are we doing for violence? What are we doing? It's building people up. So for me right now, after 30 years, I'm about leaving a legacy that me and my company, I'm making a difference. And I think on the downside, something that I haven't done, I hope you ladies will do it after being in business almost 10 years. I need to take more time for me, whether that's a spa day, mental health, exercising more, having that girl wine day, just taking care of you, because without taking care of you, there is no company. So, and I think being a CEO will pull so many different ways, and just forget that it's great that we're all doing that, but just remember is mental health is real, and just take time sometimes to step away and take time for you. And I haven't always done that. I run 12 hours a day, and I'm learning to take a step back, and it's self-love. And as women, we've got kids and husbands and families, but just take that time for you.
Yeah. I want to thank you all. I mean, in less than 25 minutes, you all have given me so much to feed on, and I want to say thank you. Again, this is Diverse Talent, and this webinar is on construction. Please follow us on LinkedIn or wherever your social media is. We have a couple of great conferences coming up, virtual conferences coming up in May. Just stay engaged. Most importantly, I'm going to ask Sarah and Jessica and Gracie and Latasha to stay connected with each other. If there's anything that I can my ask of today is just stay connected and share the information that you have with each other. So with that, I want to say thank you all, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for having us,
Thanks,
Michelle.
guys.
You're
Nice meeting
welcome.
everyone.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
all.
much, Michelle.
So nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet
Sarah,
you.
I'm sure I'll see you, and Jessica and Latasha, we're gonna have lunch. And Gracie,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be in Texas, so you just watch out. So
You just let me know when you're here.
I will. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Everybody, have a great day.
You too.